Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Computer Classes by Rachna. We are doing chapter 1 of the book Brainy Cloud for class 5. And now we are going to discuss the uses of computers in our daily life. Computers are used in the field of education, second in the field of business, third in the field of hospitals and medical profession, fourth in the field of banks, and fifth at our homes. So we will be discussing these in detail. So, in the field of education, computers are used to provide the learning process or to improve the learning process of students. It is used in schools, colleges, universities to enhance the learning of students. So, for example, the teachers also use computers and the students also use computers. Teachers use them to improve their teaching methodologies, and students use them to grasp their learnings and to improve their learnings. So, in classrooms, we have the CBT, which means computer based training, and it is used to explore the creativity and imagination in students' minds. So it makes the learning process more interesting. It helps in improving the imagination of students. So it includes online tutorials, lectures, multimedia presentations, and then online classes all take place through internet. For example, we can have online video sessions on Zoom. During COVID, this entire computer based training helped all of us to coordinate and learn. When students were sitting at their place, the teachers were present at their place, no one was allowed to move out, and still the teaching was going on, learning was going on, and it's all thanks to computers. So computer based training for teachers include the projectors, the smart boards, and it includes smartphones, laptops, and tablets for students. So the cameras, the webcams could be used by students also and teachers also, so that the visibility is maintained. The communication can take place, and the smartphones are used by students, laptops and tablets are used by students to access their Google Classrooms or to access their Teams software, which is for assignments given by the teachers. And the teachers use projectors and smart boards to teach the lectures or to take the classes. So computer based training take place from both the end, from the teachers end also, and from the students end also. So this way computers are very useful in the field of education. Now the next is computers in business. Whenever we talk about computers, they help us to expand and explore our business opportunities. Like people are selling products online using computers. You must have seen that there are many people who have their Instagram accounts and WhatsApp accounts which are flooded with products they want to sell. And similarly, if I talk about manufacturing of products, we can use computers to control production of products. Computers can manage how a product will be produced, and they can guide for the stock also. Then if you visit McDonald's, you must have seen that for billing we have computers, for taking the orders we have computers, for paying the bills we have computers, for stock checking we have computers, and at all the retail stores computers are being used for all these business purposes. Now we also have computer for maintaining the accounts. For maintaining the accounts, we have a software which is called as Tally. So this software is present in computer which help us to maintain the account and pay the taxes. And then we have online marketing, as discussed earlier by all of you. We have ads, Facebook ads, WhatsApp ads, Insta ads, which is advertising the product that the person wants to sell, so that the businesses can be enhanced. So without the use of computers, online shopping would not have been possible. You all could not order your favorite dresses and toys if you do not have the computers, right? So this is another usage of computers. The next and very important use of computer is in medical profession and hospitals. So in hospitals, we need to record all the details of the patients. We need to record what is the blood group of the patient, what is the history of the patient, what type of diseases and symptoms the patients are having. So to store all the data, we need some way of organizing the information of the patient, and for that we can store their files in the computers. Also, we when patient get their test done, the scans done, all that data is also stored in computers. And to get those scans, to get the diagnosis done, we have computerized machines only. Like we can have the CT scan, which is done through computer machines. We have ECG for heart checkup. We have MRI for checking different problems which are found in patients. So for all of it, we need the computers. Without computers, medical imaging diagnosis would not be possible. Also, when I talk about the patients who are very ill, they go to ICUs, intensive care units, and they are admitted there, and they require continuous monitoring. And for them also, we have machines which are the systems which are installed in the medical wards for continuous monitoring. For example, they will continuously monitor the blood pressure and heartbeat of the patient and their vital stats, so that if there is any problem, it is intimated by the machines immediately and the patient is attended by the doctors. Okay, so computers are very useful when we talk about medical profession. Now, another use of computers is in the field of banking. So computers are also used in banks. So earlier, what was happening in the bank, everything was done manually. People used to go to bank, stand in long queues. They used to fill the form if they want to deposit some money in their account, if they wanted to withdraw, which means take out money, or if they wanted to send money, they had to go to the bank personally, then stand in long queues and wait for their turns. Then they had to fill a form and give it to the bank employee so that the bank clerk can do their task in the computer. But now, and especially after COVID, the things have changed. Now, what we have is we have certain machines which help us in managing all the things related to bank, all the transactions related to bank. For example, we have MICR, which is magnetic ink character recognition. We have ATM machines, which are called as automated teller machines. We have the debit cards and credit cards. We have banking applications in our phones. We have digital POS, which is digital point of sale, through which we can pay the bill. So all these things are there, and I will be discussing each one of them in detail. And before moving to this, let's see the previous point, which was the medical imaging. So for that, the images of machine I'll just show you. So this is the CT scan going on through computer based machines. These are advanced machines used in hospital. This is the ECG machine, and this is the MRI machine, where the person is put and the body is scanned for any issues. Now, moving to banking industry, the first one is MICR. This MICR reader is needed to read the checks issued by the banks. all these checks have a bottom line, last line printed using a magnetic ink. This magnetic ink information have some hidden information about the account holder of the bank and the amount or something. So this cannot be read by us normally. For reading this hidden information, we need the MICR readers. So I'll show you. This is a magnetic ink character recognition reader. We place the check inside it and it reads the information which is hidden in the check through the magnetic ink. And this particular code that you see here, which is below in the last line, is the code which is in magnetic ink. And this is magnetic ink. This requires magnetic ink character recognition. So to read these checks, we have MICR readers. All right. Now we have another usage in banks, which is called as ATM. ATM stands for automated teller machine. They are the lifesaver for everyone. Whenever we need cash, we can go to the ATM. It is available 24/7 and we can withdraw the money from the bank account, and we can perform other transactions, like we can deposit the money also through the ATM, and we can also transfer money from our account to someone else's account. So all this is possible through automated teller machine. The next one is debit card and credit card. First thing, they are made up of plastic. So they are plastic cards. They have magnetic chip issued by the bank. This chip is secured by some digital password. So this chip cannot be accessed by anyone. We need to enter our card ID, the number of the card, whether it is a debit card or a credit card, we need to enter its number, and we need to enter a CVV code which is written at the back side of the credit or debit card, and we need to have our the user name, the account holder name for the card holder name has to be given, and it allows the customers to spend the money for their billing, shopping, etc. Now I'll just tell you very briefly what is the difference between debit card and credit card. So when I'm talking about debit card, we can spend money which is less than or equal to the amount of money which is present in my account. For example, if I have, let's say, 5,000 in my account and I want to buy something, so I can buy or I can pay bill only till the amount of 5,000 rupees, because I do not have more than that in my account. Whereas when I talk about credit card, using credit card I can spend money which can be more than the money which is present in my account. So how much money I can spend with credit card will depend upon the credit limit which is allowed. So maybe I have only 5,000 rupees in my account, but I can spend 50,000 rupees and I can buy the things using the credit card. Okay. So for that I have to pay a monthly installment. So then we have another use of banking, which is banking application. All the banks have their applications that can be downloaded in the customer's phone. So all this happened especially after COVID, when we were not able to go to the banks. So we were not able to go to the ATM machines even. We were not allowed to go to the ATM machines even. So what happened? When we could not go to ATM machines also, banks, they created their own applications and we downloaded those applications, and using those applications the account holder could transfer the money from their account to someone else's account, could pay the bills, and could do these operations of banking easily. All right. So the last one for banking is digital POS. Digital POS stands for a point of sale machine. It is a machine or a device which is used at point of sale What is the meaning of point of sale? A place where some products is sold. For example, a retail store from where you buy your dress, a retail store from where you buy some chips and you are paying through your cards, and then you have a point of sale machine, digital point of sale machine. Okay, so using this digital point of sale machine uses GPRS network, General Packet Radio Service. GPRS stands for General Packet Radio Service Network, to accept the payments from the clients using debit cards and credit card. You must have seen this machine. This is the digital point of sale machine, where we enter the amount to be paid by the customer, and the customer gives his or her debit card or credit card, and the amount gets deducted. Okay, so this is one of the facilities which is provided by bank, and it is very useful. Now we do not have to carry the cash, we can pay through debit cards and credit cards. The last use of computers is use at home. We use computers at home for many purposes. For example, I can use a personal computer for word processing. So where I can use this word documentation for assignment, for maintaining some personal records, and I can use personal computers to get connected to the internet, to send messages to my friends, and I can use computers for online business from home, and I can download some music and listen to my favorite songs. I can watch movies. I can have some CCTV cameras which I can view from these machines and control from these machines. So all this is possible when I talk about the usage of computers from home. So our homes have many computer devices, like in the form of embedded computers we have microwave, smart TVs, washing machines. Then Alexa is one of the examples. Then we also have Roomba. Roomba is ROOMBA, which is an automated vacuum cleaner. So Roomba is a series of autonomous means which works automatically on its own, autonomous robotic vacuum cleaner, which is sold by the company iRobot. It has sensors which helps to navigate on the floor and clean it. Then we all know what is Alexa. So let me show you the iRobot Roomba first. So this is how this iRobot Roomba looks like. This is how iRobot Roomba looks like, and it is used for cleaning. It automatically detects the floor and cleans it. And then it has Alexa. We have Alexa. Alexa, we all know, is a virtual assistant which listens to us. If we say Alexa, play a song, it will play the song. And if we want to interact, it will talk to us, and it makes our to-do list. It helps in setting up alarm when we want to get up early. It plays audiobooks. It provides update about weather outside, and it also gives sports information. So we can instruct Alexa to do things for us and it will listen, right? So another thing, that we have the softwares which are of two types, and one is application and other is system. So we'll be talking about these softwares in the next class. Till then, we have done all these types of softwares which can be used at home, and one of them at home that we will be using includes GPS also. So when we want to search for a particular location, then we use GPS navigation system on our phones or in our cars. It helps us to reach to a particular location. It guides us. So the full form of GPS is Global Positioning System. It uses a network of satellites those satellites direct us how to reach a particular location, right? So after this, in the next lecture, we will be discussing about the different types of application softwares. All right. I hope you understand. And please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.